Hi, I'm Sean Tynan from Advisors Living Real Estate with the Homeward Bound Group, and I'm here today with...
Mary Surrender from Rate Mortgage.
This is becoming very familiar, Mary.
So you wanted to talk about rate locks.
Yeah, because I run into a lot of issues with rate locks. My clients have asked me, should I get a rate lock? When do I get a rate lock? And I'm like, I'm the real estate agent. I help you find houses. We need to get you a lender to go over rate locks.
Right.
Lender.
You want to lock out your rate for, I guess, the amount of time until your closing date. So, you might say, hey, Mary, can we close in 30 days? And I'll say, yeah, sure, you can close in 30 days, maybe even less. And then the borrower would come to me, and then I would, say, okay, well, this is the cost for a 30-day rate lock, and you would not need a 60-day rate lock at that point.
Yeah.
There is a difference in cost between a 30-day rate lock and a 60-day rate lock or a 90-day rate lock, and then it kind of gets very expensive to go out to, or it can be depending on what the economy is doing, to lock out for 120 days or longer, because you can, but you're paying more points.
So if I'm doing new construction and I know I'm not going to be closing on that house for 6 months or 9 months, I'm going to want to potentially look at getting a longer rate lock and spending the money on it.
Right.
What's an ideal cost, or what's a potential cost that I might pay for a 180-day rate lock or a 120-day rate lock? Is it a fixed price, or is it based on the purchase of the house?
It really depends on what we think will happen in the future.
Okay, so it's not just based on those, it's based on what you think the rate might be.
Right. Right now, I don't think anybody is going to be locking out, because
No.
we expect the rates to go down. But if we expect the rates to go up, then it might be a good idea to do a 6-month rate lock, because you're fine with paying a point if you think the rates are going up. And you want to lock that rate in. I think that you also wanted to talk about if we automatically lock a rate when somebody puts an application in.
Yeah.
So sometimes people will come to me and actually think that if I give them a pre-approval letter, that rate that's on the pre-approval letter, they're like, oh, this is my rate. And I'm like, no, that's not your rate. And it says right on there, this is not your rate.
So what's that? Is that represents the rate that day when you did the pre-approval?
Yes.
Okay.
So I mean, it's like an approximate based on their specific
the limited
situation.
information you might have. It could change in general.
Yeah, it can change. When you're doing a pre-qualification or a pre-approval letter, you want to say this person qualifies at this rate, because if rates go up to 10% or something like that, you would be like, okay, this person was qualified at this rate, but not at 10%.
Gotcha. And once we've got the mortgage, the rate's locked in, and rate drops 1/8 of a point or 1/4 point, can they get that discount?
Yeah. So if you lock in your loan, you can do a one-time rate renegotiation during the process. And not everybody does this. I do it, but not everybody does this. You can potentially drop the rate one time before the closing.
Does that cost them anything when they do that?
No, it doesn't cost them anything.
That's a deal.
Yeah.
All right, Mary, thank you so much. I appreciate you sitting down a little bit longer with us today.
Of course, anytime.